Right, so this is the poll that we did yesterday. Pretty, looking at the results so far, it's pretty close here. They're all of them, well, most of them, there's a few of them that seem quite favoured. But it's very subjective, this is. Everybody's probably got their own vision of what they imagine to be on the paintings, and I guess I want to see what everybody's most liked is. Which one comes out on top, I'm intrigued about. So if you want to take a look, if you weren't around yesterday and you didn't get a chance to vote on the poll, all we have to do is open the image and you'll get to see. And just as a warning, this is a rough draft. It is a little bit messy. You know, we cannot even mess around with changing the size or perspective a bit more. If say one of them wins and we want to make it look even better. But it was not too bad for a rush job, because all the aim was for yesterday was to get the assets onto the paintings and show off the different themes we can have. So I guess it's up to you. Which ones do you like? Everybody. Doesn't surprise me that we've got lots of different thoughts here, because people are going to like one of them for a particular reason, and others might like another one for a particular reason. But this poll is going to close at the end of today's stream, so as soon as we go off, just as we're about to finish today, that will be when it closes. So we'll be checking throughout stream to see how it's getting on. But at the moment we got a draw by the look of it between the first one and the fifth one, A and E, which is Badass Ladies. That was the best name I could think for it. And the Slimes version too, which is quite interesting that these ones are top in the poll. I suppose these are very attention grabbing. They also fit the painting quite well because they're long vertically, so I totally get the appeal there. And I suppose they personify each of the fruits in an interesting way too. Zex even brought up emotions on the Discord last night. I was half asleep. I woke up and I was like, oh, and he mentioned, because we were talking about what lightning is and things. Like, I think we were trying to like think of an emotion for it or something, and irritability is a good one, and it makes sense because he's bitter, and I think lightning fits the lemon perfectly. It's a good one. But yeah, the other one that's kind of drawing me top is this one, which I think I like this one a lot, and I think the reason I like it is because it literally is what they are. You know how we were planning, they all have a strengthening stat. Lemon is the defender, tomato is the attacker, blueberry is the healer, the buffer, plum is the magic ranged attacker, and apple's the leader with the luck and the crits and stuff. And it was actually very interesting that we found some monster assets that literally fit them well. I had to change the colour of some of them, but I thought that was quite appropriate. So if we wanted to go for something more literal, it would be those. But some people might like the more abstract-y ones. I know the orbs are very much that. And then there's literally the snakes is a very random one, but I was like, actually that's pretty cool. There's a snake with a sort of different element going on here, and considering there was a lot of discussion for elements for each of them, felt, yeah, we'll add those to the poll as well. It was originally only going to have 4 theme choices, but we increased it to 6. Sorry about that. No need to be sorry at all, Zexy. It was interesting, and it's kind of inspired me to think of an emotion for each of them. I don't imagine blueberry being depression though, for sure, even though blue normally means depression. Blueberry's, I don't know, he seemed like the emotional one more. With him being water, I suppose I think emotional. I'm a water star sign and we're meant to be emotional. But yeah, lemon, irritability is perfect. Tomato, anger, rage. Plum, Wow. Definitely kind of think he's the mystical one, like the wizard. And as for Apple, God knows. Apple's just a strange one. He's a reluctant leader. But yeah, I've also copied and pasted your skills, Lexi, that you popped in the skill channel Discord, because we're going to talk about skills a lot today. I think it'll be a good time to actually flesh out how the battles are going to work more. Get out a solid plan. And then after that, I can actually start implementing these skills into RPG Maker, and we can actually do battle testing and stuff. Thank you so much for that follow, and Fractious Dev, I appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. Discord, sincerity, empathy, thoughtfulness, that Linda thing for Blue. Who's Linda? Linda? But yeah, that could work as well. Thoughtfulness. People always think sadness when they think of blue most of the time, but I'm sure it's got a lot of other things that symbolise the colour blue. Innocence. You know, I don't know, is blue innocence? I think it could be. If it's like a baby blue, for sure. So, he's the innocent one. Kind of sorry I'm mobile, that's alright. Mobile Twitch, I go on that sometimes too. And let's have a peep. I'm still curious what's winning. Oh my goodness me, it's changed. The poll has changed. Someone put their vote into C and took it away from A. I see what's going on here. But I haven't voted yet because I kind of want to see how the votes get on. And I don't want to like sway anybody's mind. So I'll literally make... If say at 6 PM just before we finish we got like a tie, I'll make the final decision then. But until then I'm going to just observe and see how things get on. Oh, A's going to fight. Yeah, we got a tie then between A, C and E at the moment. And you can vote for more than one. You can vote for two if you'd like to. Everybody, if say you've got a couple of favourites, then feel free to. I like empathy and keeping the same age as the others. Yeah, I feel like we should perhaps just add emotions here on this little... Just because it's something to, you know, who knows if it's going to be a mechanic, but considering we're developing, giving them a bit of a personality, there's going to be dialogue, there's going to be a cutscene, there's going to be a choice at the end of battle, whether they're going to live or they're going to be killed. I feel like it could kind of be interesting to just flesh them out with this, so let's do it. So let's have a look. I'm just going to have a quick skim read again. So it kind of could be depression here, but irritability is I think that fits even more with the whole lightning thing. I don't know what you guys think. And the whole bitterness as well. But irritability is something that comes from depression too. So it fits quite cool. But thank you. And feel free to expand on that, guys, if you want to chat about it more. I need to read it a bit more too. I'm always in a super rush just before stream. It's the busiest part of the day for me. So I've only like skim read it, but I really like the idea. Okay, so emotion, rage. I suppose it could be anger too, but rage feels a little bit more extreme. And you know, if we're gonna like give them a bit of individual, if we're gonna do some facial expressions, it won't be too difficult to pull them off. They're very simple facial expressions, and I can always edit the assets to look like that. That won't hurt at all. There has been a bit of discussion about if they're gonna visually look a little bit different, with the tomato having his like an emo over his face, his little grass piece. So I guess it's just thinking of what the others are. So Battle Sandwich, aka Pulsus, said, hang on, let's look back. You said empathy. Did I miss something, or is it the start? Hi Neffel, how's it going? We've only just started. Literally the last few minutes we've got into things. I think we were just like, it was an idea just to attach an emotion to each of the fruits based on their personality. So we're going to just do that just to flesh them out a bit more. Mine was innocence for blueberry, but we can also have empathy, and we can talk about that. We can see if we want one over the other, see what people think. I want it to all be on one line though. But it looks like it's not doing it. Let's just make the text a bit smaller. That'll help. So yeah, apple, plum, they're the question marks. So I'm up for anybody has any thoughts, feel free to say. This is purely, don't know if it's going to affect the battle mechanics, something like this, but it'll probably affect what is said in the cutscenes and dialogue, perhaps. We have a draw on the poll. We do. The poll is up for the rest of the stream, folks. So you've all got time to get your votes in, but it is a tie at the moment. We've got 3 that are joint. So if it's like that at the end, then I'll get the final say because I haven't voted yet. But you never know. One could end up taking the lead in the next 3 hours. So we'll see. Hi Underdog Games, thank you. Got the plats. Welcome to the stream. Badass Ladies, Orbs and Slimes are winning, they are. And they've all got like their pros and cons. It seems like D, which was the version 1 of the slimes, is the least popular. I'm intrigued about that. People definitely seem to prefer Slimes version 2 over Slime version 1. And I think that's because there's something playful about them. And they also fit very well with the strengths and stat personalities we've given them. But people defo like these 2 as well. We'll see. I think the poll could take a drastic turn over the course of the stream. People might even change their minds. I know pet folks have done that sometimes. They've voted for one and then passed it over to another. Feel free to chat about it in chat if you want to potentially sway people's minds. If you've got a strong opinion and you think, oh, I like this one because this, and you've got a good reason for why it works so well, then feel free to talk about it in chat. I'm not against that, because it's interesting to see why one could work better over the other. Oh my goodness me. So yeah, we still got the. I'm gonna be checking this throughout stream, but I'm not gonna stare at it too much because we want to get some stuff done. We'll get some skills decided today. David, thank you for that host. How are you doing? Apple determination. Can someone who's reluctant be determined? That's the thing. He's definitely the hardest one, Apple is. He's the one I struggle with. But ladies for the win. The ladies look visually very impressive, I'd say. So yeah, I'm not surprised. But they've all got their advantages. I'd say they've all got their pros in some way. Welcome, Retret, to the Discord. Good to have the new folks here. So if you want to take part in the votes, then Discord's the place to be. And feel free to say hi in stream. We're very friendly and like to get to know you. No pressure either though. Totally can lurk if that's what you like to do. Determination, reluctance can live side by side, I think. Yeah, I mean, it could work, but I'm just wondering if it makes them a bit of a contradicting personality. No harm in him being a bit of a contradicting personality. Sometimes you can be determined and be reluctant another time. I can be a bit of a contradiction myself. Unlikely leader, I do want to be here doing this, but no one else is stepping up, so I guess I have to. That's very true as well, Dave. Somebody in chat mentioned that Squall from Final Fantasy VIII is that trope, and that works. But in a way, Lemon and Tomato are very keen as well. They're the aggressive two, and that's why they're on the front line. And Apple being the bit of the reluctant one, he's in the middle being the leader, but he's took that step back because he doesn't have the aggressive nature that Lemon and Tomato have. Tomato's the young one, he's the teen who is just like full on emo, and Lemon's the old veteran guy. And these are the sweethearts, the blueberry and the plum. Reluctant to actually have authority, but is determined to. Yeah, should we put in there for now determination? If anybody thinks of another emotion, we can always put a slash, like I've done for the blueberry. The plum is the interesting one. Is wisdom an emotion? I don't know, but I see him as the wise one, the intelligent one, the wizard of the crew. For sure, being as he's like, you know, the magic person. Dutiful. Can put that there. We're probably not going to fit too many. Is that how you spell it? It looks funny to me, but it must be how you spell it because there's been no spelling mistake thing that's come up. Curiosity, lust for knowledge. Oh, as in edgy emo teen. Tomato and Rose should fall in love later in the story. They both survive. Rose would never go for an edgy emo. She will kill the tomato. She will bite into him, and all his juices will come out. Gross. Yeah, curious then could be a good one. Curious. There we go, guys. So let's think about skills a bit as well today. Also, I'm going to just add at the bottom. I don't know why it changes the text. Draw IO is a silly one. Okay, end of battle. Hey, stop turning into black text. So that was what was decided on our poll a while ago, a few days ago. Don't need that. You get the choice whether you want to kill them or let them live. So I feel like that's something we could do with adding, just so people remember that we've got that. And I suppose we could think, if we do let them live, how is that going to affect things? Does that mean later on in the game we're going to encounter them again? We can also have a little think about what can happen, what the consequences are from letting them live compared to killing them. That's something to consider too. I think I've got a little list of some people's ideas for that. Some folks said definitely a second fight later on if you let them live. Not doesn't have to be yet in the Everbloom Forest. It could be much later in the game. That's something we could always discuss. Willful might also work. Oh, hi, Observerish. Would like to be on my left screen while Code Horror be on my right. A developer, maybe. I guess I could take that title. I'm not gonna complain. They are too dangerous to let live. If you want to kill them, Neville, that's completely fine. Or third, a secret option for new game, plus you get to play the rest of the game as an apple. Damn. Now I'm imagining that. I feel like there should be a point in the story you can turn into an apple just for jokes now. Maybe you can help us later if we let them live. You replace all party members with fruit by being cursed by the pain too. Well, if we let them live, it depends, because these guys aren't I don't know whether they're that nice. They're a bit evil. But there definitely needs to be something. There needs to be something that would encourage people to let them live. Otherwise, everyone's just going to murder them. I suppose people could let them live because they just think they're cute, maybe. Maybe that. What if these fruits are just people cursed by the painting? You are the plant turned into a tomato. Guys, you guys are crazy. Well, we've had a discussion about sentience. It's been a big topic in the general ideas board, and the idea is that a spell, either a spell alone or a spell involving moss of some kind, has brought things to life that aren't meant to be alive. Fruits, trees, and barrels. That is why I carol the barrels alive and a container, friends. It's kind of all going to tie into the whole story of why her companions get abducted. And it's like there's been paragraphs written about that in the ideas discussion channel. So if you're intrigued, feel free to have a look. And thank you for the follow as well, Observerous Object. I appreciate that. I like your name. Also keep in mind, Rose, some can be good, some can be evil at the same time. Make the choice, though. That's true. Evil, it's grey, isn't it? It's not a black and white thing, good and evil. And I think I want to go with that in Raindrop Chronicles. Let's make our villains somewhat sympathetic and a bit grey. Barrels are alive too, Roasting. Why didn't you tell us? I don't usually follow a first date, but I'll just give the evening a go. What's a first date? That sounds a bit weird. Make the choice tough, but not that. Sorry, lol. Be dumb. Okay. Right, so let's get some ideas in, because we can discuss phase 2 at some point, but maybe we should focus on phase 1 first. We still have a poll here to see what wins. So we don't know what the painting's going to visually look like yet. We won't until it closes at 6 today. But we've been needing to discuss phase 1 for a long time. So I'm gonna call it ideas, because what we're gonna write down here isn't gonna be 100% confirmed yet. I kind of want us all to discuss it and see if we can add or change potentially what we're going to talk about here. So Zexy was very helpful. He put a lot of ideas in the Discord for what the skills could be, and I think we could use those as a base. We could start off and use some of Zexy's ideas as a base, to be honest, and we might end up having it all completely the same, or we might change bits. We'll see what you all think. I just meant it like if there was some evil, some were good, it'd be tough to choose whether to let them live, especially if there's some explicit reason it had to be all or nothing. Oh, you mean maybe, like as a group, some of them are evil and some are good. I get it, right. So yeah, the evil one's definitely the lemon and tomato. For sure. I've always thought the cutie pies are the blueberry and plum. Apple's kind of just nothing. He's neither good nor bad. So yeah, that's an idea too, for sure. Having the group split, and you can't keep individual ones alive. You have to either kill them all or let them all live. You can't say, well, blueberry and so can live, but none of the rest of you. It's either all or nothing. Plum should be well-meaning but a bit unwise despite his smarts. Oh, you think he should be unwise? That's interesting. I always saw the plum as the clever one. Blueberry is evil, the rest are pure good, but misguided by love and loyalty. You think Blueberry's evil? He's the cute one. Maybe he's tricking us though. Plot twist. But yeah, honestly, guys, the whole like cutscene personality side of this encounter is very interesting, and I think we'll really have a discussion about how that's all going to work and plan all the dialogue out and what they're up to, and all that sort of thing can happen at the end. Once we've got all these skills in mind, we'll definitely start thinking of personality more. But I like that you guys are discussing it because it's fun. It's definitely fun to talk about these things. Friend has always described the difference between intelligence and wisdom in D&D as this. Never trust someone cuter than me there, dodgy. Well, we know that Zax is going to kill them all. If you don't like the blueberry, that means you're heartless. Okay, right. So Zex's idea is that there should be one skill that the fruits share, and some skills that are the same but vary slightly. And then some that's unique. So, I'm going to copy and paste these points you've made. And we'll have a look at these first. I would call that A instead. Because that's a pretty cool one. I've left this sentence here because I thought that mechanic was quite interesting. So feel free to talk about that as well. Oh, intelligence is being able to work out the math and probability you could do things. Wisdom, however, is being able to that you shouldn't, even if you could. Yeah, that's true. Intelligence and wisdom are different things. So he can be intelligent but not wise, I guess. That works. I think curious is a good one for him. Also, let's see how the polls are getting on. We've still got a draw. This draw between the three. Okay. So, these ideas. Blueberry could have a single target heal. Makes sense. We've said he's the healer. Lemon can guard another fruit. Any attacks at that fruit are taken by Lemon. And Lemon gets the defense buff for the turn. Yep. He's a defender. We got to make use of these stats. So it makes sense to have skills like that. Tomato can sunder party members' resistance, making them more vulnerable to elemental damage. Plum has some kind of elemental damage spell, and Apple can inflict status effects on the party. Tomato being the attacker, I imagined he'd be the one dealing most of the damage. But definitely Plum could as well, because he's like he's a ranged magic attacker. Status effects is an interesting one, but my only worry is that the battle could get far too challenging if we start bringing lots of stat effects into it. But we know some of these things have to be tried and tested as well. Okay, so there's more ideas. Tomato and lemon do physical damage with lemons. Oh yeah, so lemon's another one to consider. He's like the defender. Them being on the front line, I definitely imagine them being a bit like melee. And to be honest, Apple could be too. Them two would stay ranged, perhaps. I wish we could actively help you in RPG Maker, like in Google Docs. Would be so neat. Could help fill out stats and skills based on what the community has decided, and you can look at them afterwards. No reason why we can't do something like that. Like, when it comes to skills, definitely like implementing them, and when I have to like think of all the formulas, that is my weak point. I get a bit scared of that. It can be a bit intimidating. I'm totally not against you guys helping me out there at all. I guess we would have to consider how we could do something like that, but Like, there's something like a shared Google Doc where everybody can edit could work, but the only worry with that is that it could be chaotic as well. People could like be editing things and deleting things, and could get a bit messy as well. So it's just thinking of how that could work. I honestly think our Discord ideas channel seems like the most simple solution for suggesting ideas, because then you don't have the risk of anybody deleting what you put or whatever. But it can also, you know, yeah, I guess, I don't know. Wisdom, experience acquired, intelligence, talent discovered. Yeah, that's true observation. Now, would the guardian ability be easily done in RPG Maker? I think so, Zexy. We talked about that here already once upon a time. It's just so I remember it's doable from somewhere else. I'm a math boy somewhat. I can do damage formula and balance like a monster if I can collect the time together. That's awesome. Yeah, I admire people that are good at that, because that's my weakness. Team viewer, just let us control your computer and edit RPG Maker one more way. This is a joke. My goodness, I'd be stressed as hell all my life. We can build a public response so you can cherry pick stuff when needed. Yeah, that's actually an idea too, because, you know, we got this is fine. Obviously over time, as more is written, things all get, you know, be all the way up here and potentially forgotten about, but I'm always going to try and I'm always going to make sure I don't forget things if I can. I like making notes and keeping track of what everybody suggested, but there's always that chance that things can go forgotten over time. So it would always be the idea to have a more organised and categorised way of suggesting things. We've kind of done that. I mean, we have a skill discussion here, like that's simply for skills, and that one's simply for dialogue. So we kind of got something like that. So guys, if you do want to suggest things and want to help out at all, that is probably the easiest way of doing it at the mo. Who knows, that over time, if we do get a more easier and more organised way of doing it, we might. You guys would have to suggest some software options to me. I mean, Draw.io got suggested by somebody here, and I've been using it ever since. It's really good for flows more than anything. But I've been using it as well, just as a sort of board for us to write down general ideas on during stream as well. I actually really want to show you my Google Sheets thing for my own RPG Maker exploits. Lots and lots of self-filling code stuff based on information. Yeah, guys, I believe I asked Elite that not so long ago. I mentioned that he should send me his stuff because I wanted to see. He had like this database of all his variables or something, and I wanted to see them all because I need to reorganise my variables and common events and everything, because they're a mess at the moment. Because I'm still quite early on in the project, it won't hurt to start reorganising them all now. Better now than later. And I would love to see, if you guys are doing RPG Maker projects, I would love to see how you organise your stuff and how you, even what some of your skills are. Like, obviously, if you don't mind, some people might think, no, they're mine, rather than using my skills. But it could go a long way for helping. Say, if we think of skills together, and I can steal your formulas. I'm weak. Formulas is my weak point. If I had help on that side, I think I would be truly grateful, because I suck at them. I could do them eventually after tons and tons of research, but it would take a while to get my head around, because I'm not a natural maths person. I think the fight balancing will be hard task. Maybe. I think actually getting the skills to work is the hard bit. Balancing, yeah, it requires a bit of testing, but I think it's just trial and error sometimes, and then just recheck. But it's the implementation for me. Scary, that is. Very scary. I'm coding for my game designer friend. He prefers Discord as well to manage community content. Yeah, it's a good thing. It's very, you have a bit of control, don't you? So I think we're all right with Discord so far, but of course if there's anything else out there that is an amazing tool to use for community idea input, then I'm all ears. I guess it would just have to be something that couldn't be edited by everybody, because it would just be chaotic and things. You get trolls coming in, and that'd be bad. You would lose stuff potentially that was important. Okay, so there was a few other notes of Zex's. So Zex has made 3 points. So lemons, electrical, tomatoes, fire, plum and blueberry do magical damage with plum being psychic or blueberry having water, and then apple does untype damage that there's no resistance to. Oh yeah, that's an interesting one. Apple not having a specific one. I think we thought maybe grass or anything of that element, but apple's the tricky one. Apple and blueberry have a skill that buffs the party. Blueberry uses magic. Apple inspires the troops. Yeah, Apple doesn't even need to be an attacker. He can literally be the one, as you say, he could be the one that gives the buffs or status effects, because if we're having lemon and tomato be our attackers, it could be a bit OP. You know, Rose, we've only got Rose and the hero in this battle, don't forget, there's just 2. It's 2 against 5. So that means that these guys can't be too OP. There will be a bit of balancing we have to do, I guess. It's the first boss. Can't be too impossible. Okay, I'm reading more. Plum, tomato have a general debuff that can apply to pine members, some kind of slow attack stat. Okay, right, there's a few good points here, so just getting them all organised and put in now. We should think of the fruits. Should we think of them one at a time? I'll number these again. Okay, so let's just label them. So we'll start with apple, lemon, tomato, blueberry and plum. I think what we should do is get a list of skills for each of them in. That's probably going to be the best way to organise it. However many skills it's going to be, we don't know yet, but we'll see. Hi Van, how are you doing today? It's good to see you. We're doing good, aren't we, chat? Been rambling. And we have a poll as well, so if you haven't voted yet, here it is, guys. We got a draw at the Mo. So it's it's a you know, doesn't seem to be a clear winner this time. Interesting poll, very subjective one. Okay, so right, so we got a lot of info here, but who cares, it's going to be a bit messy, but we'll make it look tidy afterwards. Okay, I imagine that tomato hits often for minor damage with an ability that synergizes with plum. Plum can hit hard but is squishy and will go down quick if blueberry doesn't heal him. Blueberry is weak against physical attacks and is low on health, but is protected by lemon. Lemon doesn't do much damage, but if any, keeps blueberry. Let's get all those notes in quickly about them to sum them up then. So tomato hits often with minor damage. Just so we got it all in, and that will go a long way, because we'll plum can hit hard but is squishy, and I agree, he should be squishy for sure. Have we ever known a wizard that isn't squishy? Plum's the wizard of the gang, so he definitely would be the squishy one. And that's interesting. So really, is Plum the one people should be killing first? It's quite a dangerous one. Who would you say? I mean, people usually kill the healer first, don't they? Which would be Blueberry. Oh no. But this is interesting because you believe you are killing them in the first phase, but then at the end of the battle, you actually do get the decision to let them live. So you're not actually killing them. We're tricking players here, making them think they're killing these cute things, but really, they might not. If Blueberry doesn't heal him, Blueberry is weak against physical attacks and he's low on health, but he's protected by Lemon. If I miss anything out at all, because who knows, I might, then feel free to tell me to add something to these guys when we're writing it down. Weak against physical attacks, low health, protected by Lemon. Oh, Lemon is the daddy of Blueberry. He's looking out for him. Lemon doesn't do much damage, if anything, but keeps Blueberry alive, allowing Hidden Magic to keep all of them alive. Yeah. Lemon is our tank, so he's not really the one who's got the big hits behind him, but he's definitely, as the defender, is pretty dangerous for sure. And that's also interesting because we did discuss Lemon being an attacker, but because we don't want this battle to be too OP, it's 5 against 2. It could be interesting if we have it so Lemon actually doesn't attack at all and he's literally just a defender, but we'll talk about that for sure. We've still got to discuss Apple as well. He's the only one we haven't, but I've got some notes here still of yours, Zexy, that mention Apple being the buffer and that, so I can always add that in a sec. But first I'm going to catch up with tracks. I'm behind. Are you on Europe time zone? I'm on UK time zone. I believe Europe's an hour ahead of me. Well, some countries in Europe anyway. Working and lurking, busy today. Oh, I hope work goes well and thank you for lurking, Van. Super appreciate it. It's Hungarian. Sexy. Hope the ladies will win the poll, but all options are nice. Yeah, Nefa, like I can see why that one's first, because I think they visually look, they're filling up the canvas, and I can understand the appeal for sure. But yeah, I do agree they've all got the pros and cons, and whichever one does win, we'll make it work. We'll make it awesome. So it's still very close. There's only one difference in the votes at the moment. Thank you, 66, for joining our Discord. I'll catch up in chat in a sec, guys. I am a little behind. Appreciate all the excitement now and all the ideas. Since America Continent goes online, we get CP. Yeah, I'm a night owl, so I'm usually awake for those streams. Gandalf can take a beating, but he's not exactly human. Squishy, but really evasive or impossible to target until at least Yellow Boy, I love that name, Yellow Boy, is dead. But that's true. Maybe, so really, are we saying that Blueberry cannot be hit at all if Lemon is alive? Is this an idea we're 100% gonna go with here, or can we still hit him but it just doesn't, it's very little damage? And what about Plum? Does Lemon protect Plum as well, or doesn't he give a toss about Plum? Maybe he only cares about Blueberry. Because Plum is very the squishy one. Is he got a protector? Because he could easily be killed fast then, by the look of it, if Lemon doesn't protect him. Anyway, can't you add a skill to the game that Lemon would use as soon as he reaches 50% HP that actually debuffs his own group, or a passive that defends the others if he loses his 50%? I'm sure there's always a way. I think, you know, if you're clever enough with formulas, there's a way to go about anything. I guess it's just whether I can do it that's the question. But we can. What do you guys think of that sort of skill for lemon? I'm actually going to copy and paste that one battle sandwich into the skills list idea we've got. Because I'll be slowly adding some skill ideas from our list in a sec. Just so I can catch up with chat first, because we've got quite a bit here, and then we can think, I can focus more on what you've said when I've caught up on chat. So the player needs to target lemon to hit the backbone, maybe to prevent the player from doing just the obvious choice of killing the plum glass cannon. To prevent, yeah. So yeah, that's pretty obvious at the moment. Plum is the one to kill, but would we be making it too hard? Like, this is still the first boss and it's got 2 forms here. Are we making it too challenging by having loads of potential buffs and that, especially with Apple potentially being a buffer as well? What do you guys reckon? Are we, because definitely you guys can, you might know better than me if it's too challenging or not. I'm one of these people that actually have to do a test play before I realise if it's too hard or not. Give Blueberry some nice skills. Neffel loves Blueberry. Then it's the player's choice to either finish off Lemon while he's weak, so Blueberry doesn't heal him and regain the defense buff for the whole party, or the player could just try to target the others while they have the chance. Would give mixed reasoning to target each given fruit. Reason I'm putting so much thought into this bit is if we want each painting to have a roughly even chance to show up, we would want the incentive the player to focus on each equally, right? Yeah, and I guess that's why this is an interesting mechanic as well. The character, us party members, Rose and the hero, getting marked by a fruit that it hits, because that will stop the player encouraging to pound down one at a time. But that's very true as well, Battle Sandwich. We don't want the same painting showing up every time, you know, because we've put a lot of thought into 5 different types of paintings, you know, different colours for each fruit. Whatever theme we end up out of these 6, we've still got 5 paintings that can show up, and we don't want all our hard work to go to waste. I see it's cool if the player has an equal chance of locking any of them. Sorry for wall of text. Yeah, I've kind of absorbed some of what you've said, but some of it I'll probably need to reread it again to get a full grasp of it. But I will do for sure. It doesn't have to be that was, mind you. It's just how we design them from D&D fight. Once you take out one of the fruit, it results in a sort of death spiral where the fight gets experimentally easier because the main threat is from synergy, not to the sum of their parts. Fun fact, there is a breed of yellow tomato called Yellow Boy that's a hybrid lemon tomato, just a bit thicker skin, a little tarty, otherwise it's just a funky coloured tomato. Aww. A yellow tomato hybrid. I know that was a mechanic mentioned by someone, turning the fruits into hybrids. I thought that was quite cool, but I think it would be too much for this one battle to have hybrids in it when we've already got so much happening. But who knows, like, we are gonna, if you keep the fruits alive, people have basically said that means there'll be a second fight in the future later on in the game. We can do this fight again with completely different mechanics for the second fight. So just like the Turks in Final Fantasy VII, you came across the Turks plenty of times and the fight was different. I believe it was different each time. There was different mechanics from what I remember, but it's been a few years since I've replayed 7. And you know, these can pop up like the Turks did again, and like we'll be like, oh no, not these guys again. And the battle we can introduce some of the other cool stuff that was suggested that we didn't get to have in this particular battle. Who knows? Tomato and Plum already have incentives. They deal a lot of damage but don't have super defense, just physical and magical respectively. Blueberry is a healer, so he's a valid target already too. And apple and lemon don't have much reasoning so far though, unless apple has really good buffs or something. Yeah, I'm starting to think if we're gonna have apple as the buffer, he should be the only buffer. Lemon, maybe just have him as a defender, because then it kind of gives a reason to kill apple as well to stop the buffs. I don't know. We don't want to make it too overcomplicated. It'd be cool if each fruit specialises in something, I suppose. Also, there's a lot of text going on here, so I deeply apologise if I haven't read every single thing. I'm kind of skimming it for sure, but I want you guys to, if something's like really cool that you've said, you can copy and paste it or tell me to read it again. I don't mind. For game balance, I would imagine that lemon should guard any of the fruit except maybe tomato, leaving openings for the players to take advantage of or kill plum or blueberry. So mate, you're suggesting that perhaps lemon should protect more than just blueberry then. Plum, because yeah, plum's very squishy if he's got nobody protecting him. Third balance and semi-unrelated idea, make the painting even not attack on its first turn and do nothing to give player a bit of breathing room to heal up. Oh, painting? You talk about painting. Now the painting won't do any attacking. It'll be the fruits doing the attacking from behind the painting. I believe that was the one that won the poll, isn't that? Is if I remember correctly, guys, right? It's just the paint's literally just in the way, I think. But we haven't really talked much about that part of the battle yet. We could discuss that more after we've got the first phase done. Yellow boy lemon tomato thing was just an interesting thing, not a game suggestion. Well, it reminded me of someone's idea of hybrid fruits, because that was actually an idea and I thought it was pretty neat, but we just didn't get a chance to actually have it in this particular battle because there's already two alive mechanics. I can't remember who suggested it now, but it was a cool idea. Cries too much chat, sorry thoughts, I'll throw in the Discord again. Let's get my stuff moved to Discord. Yeah, feel free, if like things get very, very chunky, lots of paragraphs, guys, it might be best to put in skill discussion or ideas discussion, whatever's the most relevant. I am aware people want to say in chat today, because we are generally talking about this, and I probably won't see the skills until after stream, whatever you've said in Discord. But that's totally fine, because we're always going to be changing this up until we implement them anyway. Badass Ladies and Slime, there's 6 votes. Oh really, there's a tie again, Neffel. Here's the thing, if Apple is the buffer, that makes his agility look focused, so not really do anything unless his skills damage the party and buffer fruit, which I find kind of weird, but maybe I'm just being stingy. Yeah, I'm going to need to rely on you guys here, because I'm one of the people that have to detest plays to actually realise if the battle's working or not, but you guys seem to be very, very good at this stuff. You know your stuff, so I'm literally gonna go by what you're saying, Zexy and Pal Sandwich, and we'll put something together. We'll try our best, get the best idea possible. Okay, so if Apple's a buffer, that makes his agility look no really do anything unless his skills make damage the party and buff the fruit. Yeah, that's a thing too. Like if he's not going to attack, the crits look and agility are a bit pointless. If he's the leader, we can still have him attack. He can be an attacker and a buffer then. But he's just not as strong as Tomato. He hasn't got that extra range, that rage that Tomato's. Because Tomato's good at attacking, whereas Apple isn't. He's more, wow, he's a worse version of Tomato. Okay, I'm just gonna go back and read some of the things I skimmed over before. So guys, I'm intrigued. Which one do you think could be the one you'd kill first, based on our discussion? Is there an order you have in mind for what you'd kill? What the kill order? Because I think we kind of said it'd be cool if there isn't a particular kill order, because we want the painting to be different each time. We want to try and encourage the player to see a different painting. Because if the last one that we kill is always, say, apple, then we'll always have apple painting every single time, and the form, you know. So I don't know, how should we deal with this? How should we best design it? You love Zex's ideas. Zex's got great ideas. Zexy knows his stuff. You always you do a blueberry to die. Well, we're tricking you, aren't we, Neffel? We're killing him here, but you do get the choice to let him live at the end. We're gonna make people really emotional, aren't we, in the first phase? Maybe. Neffel will be anyway. I was going for the glass cannons. Assuming Lemon doesn't have full party buff while he's alive, I go for glass cannon, plum, or possibly tomato if he's weak to an attack. I have somehow. Blueberry's heals were really good. I swapped him first. Lemon, apple, almost guaranteed last though. Yes. See, this is what do we agree here that we want to avoid there being a guaranteed last one, because we want to potentially have other people's paintings appear in the second phase. So when we say lemon and apple guaranteed last, maybe we can do something that stops people going for the glass cannons first, just so we get a chance for plum and blueberries paintings to appear. But you know, people will always go for the healers and the glass cannons, unless there's a way we can do it so they don't. And that, I suppose, is having Lemon be their defender. Make it impossible to kill unless Lemon's killed first. And then maybe if we have Apple as the buffer, people will kill him before Blueberry and Plum as well, if he's buffing them. I feel like I'd want to kill Tomato because he's got strong attacks. Get him out the way. Get him out of the way first. Temporary shields are nice to avoid aggro. If you attack Blueberry, you get a curse. I agree, Blueberry's adorable. So, what are we going to say about Apple? I'm going to look back in our notes. Buffs the party. I'm going to say hits with physical attacks. Feel free to say if you disagree that he should be an attacker, but the reason I've added that is so we can make use of his you know, his stats, like Zexy said. If he's just a buffer, then he's literally pointless. And I suppose if we make him be a hitter as well, we've got an incentive for people to want to kill him. Be one of the first to kill. Hits often with minor damage. Do we say minor damage? Tomato is strong though, right? I'm confuzzled now. Hits hard with magical ranged damage. Hits often with physical. I feel like we should add that. If the paintings don't affect anything mechanically, then here's what I would do. Pick 2 paintings and make them really easy to get, say tomato and apple. Give them each 35% chance to show up. That makes it easy for players to get a second painting on second playthrough. This shows the player that they're a different painting, because they won't know that until second playthrough. Once they know there are different options, they can... Yeah, I suppose that's very true, Zexy. Like, once people know that that this is a thing, they'd do it on purpose, wouldn't they? They'd leave some of the others they wouldn't normally leave alive last on purpose, just because they want to see the painting and how things differ. People might know from other people's playthroughs if they watch a stream, if somebody ever did stream it, that is, and they're like, hang on a minute, you've got that painting. So that's another way people can find out. But yeah, if not, then it'll only be in a second playthrough. Apple being buzzed to increase party's damage, which is plenty incentive if his buff is good enough, but I do really like the idea of him alternating an attack and buff 2 turn cycle. Oh, okay, so that's interesting. So first turn buff, second turn attack, then buff attack, buff attack, buff attack. Do you see that pattern? Is that right? We got it right, because then I could note that down, so I remember that. If you guys agree that that's a good cycle. Yellow could do 1 attack every few rounds. That's good. Yeah, because he doesn't do damage much, but maybe 1 every 4. And then his main role is being a defender, but he does attack very occasionally then. Does that make sense? It makes sense in my head. So like 4 turns of defensive stuff. If he actually delivers a really big physical blow to make him scary. Oh, so you're saying 1 in 5 actually. Maybe. My full 5 numbers turns were pure made up numbers, whatever sounds good. I feel like you guys have a good grip on how balancing works, because I can tell you're good at the math, so I'm going to trust whatever numbers you come up with as a base anyway. In test plays, if we have to change things a touch, that isn't fine, but I'm definitely going to, whatever you say, I'll use that as our starting point. 1 in 4 is fine, whatever you think feels balanced. I pulled those numbers out thin air, no balance involved. Oh, right, okay. Well, I'm trusting you guys, because balancing like the battle stuff, not 100% my strong point. Right, so did we say alternate between these every turn? Okay. So we said lemon keeps blueberry alive, but should he keep plum alive too? That was a topic of conversation as well. Hits often with minor damage. Does he really do minor damage? I feel like he'll still, even if it's minor damage, it'll still be more than what Apple and Lemon do, because he has got the attack like advantage at the end of the day. He's good at that. Why is physical spelled wrong now? Balance will probably be done at the end. Yeah, always at the end for sure. Though I would heavily suggest halfway through doing a playthrough while balancing, so it's not all lumped towards the end. If you do, oh no, we won't be doing it all at the end. Like, you know, whenever Bloom Forest is kind of finished, we'll do it then. Not like the whole of the game. Well, it's episodic anyway, so we'll never get that issue where we do everything at the end. Luckily, I think the episodic nature of things and doing things in small parts is a lot more fun in general than thinking of the game as one big giant game. That's definitely overwhelming then. Are you planning on making many items in the game? Items we just haven't discussed at all yet. We're going to have an item stream probably when the time's right, which I believe will be once we've finished with the battle stuff and start thinking about rewards from the battles, and also what can be on the field item wise, such as like potions and antidotes and stuff like that. And it's also going to be important for when we get back to Lakefall and introduce side quests, because we'll be thinking of rewards for the side quests then as well. So items will definitely be something that pop up, but it just we haven't had the opportunity to really get into items yet. It just feels irrelevant at this point in time when we have to get other things done, but it's going to definitely be important. But for sure, like things like armor is going to be essential for balancing, because it changes everything. What weapon or armor the hero and Rose has got on could totally change the battle. So I have, like, just so you know, they have got armor equipped on them, and I have kind of got a basic number for how much that armor is going to be. I think they're 12. They have 12 defense with the armor on and 4 with it off. I think that's kind of what I've got at the moment. And we haven't thought about the armor much in terms of what its name's going to be, but I've got a basic idea that that's going to be the first armor anyway. And at the Lakefall shops, will have an upgrade to the armor as well. Yeah, that's already done, Neffel. That's no worry at all. We just haven't really, we just haven't fleshed the item out, given it a name or anything yet. But I think I'm going to stick with the stats I've got for the armour, for the first set of armour anyway. Be fair enough foundation. Yeah, there'll probably have to be a bit of tweaking maybe, but that's not a hassle. I mean, all we have in terms of balancing, it's just the 7 fights of the Everbloom Forest, the 7 enemies that we've got here. These guys and these guys, as well as this boss. Really, that's what we've got. And we're certainly not gonna move on until all that balancing's been done. And to be honest, I've got no intention of moving on for the Everbloom Forest until we've really, really made this area good, filled it with lots of side quests and stuff. I would hate to go to the next zone and have not done any of the balancing or anything like that. I'd feel like I want to get that out the way first, get everything 100% done at Everbloom Forest. I think the whole team defensive buff is the only way you're going to be incentivized enough to kill him to make him a reasonable first priority target alongside the others. Otherwise, it just means I'd avoid killing him or the one thing he's defending until later. Slash overthinking prone. Do you mean Lemon Battle Sandwich? I'm just trying to get my mind back into gear here. But yeah, I mean, Lemon, he's definitely one we're going to want to kill if he's defending people. For Tomato, if you have 2 heavy hitting damage dealers, that's bad, because you only have 2 players. If AA targets the same party members for 2 or more turns, you'll end up a KO before any of the fruit are taken out, because if that doesn't take the hero, then it's not really heavy damage. Yeah, I guess it's not going to be heavy damage. It's got to be still weak, but it's heavier than what Lemon and Apple would have, if that makes sense. But it's definitely not going to be anything too OP, because you're right, it will kill Rose and the hero quite fast otherwise. So yeah, even if it's less than 10, it's just a really small hit, that Lemon would probably, Apple would probably have half of what Tomato has, and Lemon maybe a quarter maybe, but it's still small. Lemon, sorry, yeah. Oh, okay. I thought it was lemon. Okay, so basically, if lemon is only defending blueberry and plum, you're not going to feel like you want to kill him first. Which is okay. You don't have to kill lemon first. What do you think? I feel like I still don't want to force people to kill certain ones first, because I love the idea of people potentially unlocking different paints in the second one. But like Zexy said, once people know that's a thing, they'll do that on purpose anyway. Sorry I'm so late. Hi Ellie, how are you today? I hope you're having a wonderful day. I think if he's a magic defense buff in the fruity team, it puts him in the same basket of high priority targets with plum and tomato and possibly blueberry, depending on heal strength. Yeah. So I don't know, maybe I'm very wrong saying this, but I like the thought of any of the fruits being the first one the player could kill. Or is that too overwhelming? Do we need a solid idea of who should be the first to kill? I want it as balanced as possible. That's my goal, to ensure paintings are close. Yeah, exactly, Battle Sandwich. I mean, it's very true what Zexy said, but at the same time, I still want to make sure that the paintings can equally be chosen. And I feel like if we have 100% everybody going for plum as the first one to kill, then that will definitely not be a painting that's ever seen. Oh, you got a headache? Hope it gets better soon, Elite. That sucks. Headaches are the worst. Having multi-pepper, yeah, it's a wasted effort, and that's like part of the whole fun of this battle, is seeing the different paints that get unlocked. And guys, get your votes in. We've got to draw on our poll, so get those votes in. We have a draw, and this poll is closing at the end of the stream today, which is still 2 hours away. Still 2 hours away, so we got the time, and if it is a draw by the end, I'll get the final say. So we'll see, won't we? Also, thank you for the general ideas discussion about so much. I'll have papered that if we end up getting time, but if not, I will look at it after stream, and whatever is said, if it's useful, we'll add it to our little thingy we got going here. Okay, so we haven't really thought of specific skills yet. We just thought of the overall mechanics of each fruit and how they work. Shall we start considering actual skills? Or do we still need to do some planning before we move on to that bit? So make plum and tomatoes damage output relatively balanced. Blueberry heal's good enough to make him a problem too. Lemon's defense is enough to justify maybe getting him out of the way, then dealing with us at make his buffs good and crit chance high, I guess. Agree completely, Rose. They should be balanced, an option for each possible one. Yeah, okay, so plum and tomato, you're saying equal damage out, like the damage they do will be about the same. One's physical, one's range, so that's the difference. But that's the main difference with plum and tomato. I'm also thinking, should we switch the places here? Because the reason I'm thinking that is because if lemon is the protector of blueberry, it makes sense that the blueberry is behind lemon. And if tomato and them are the physical attackers, maybe having them next to each other works too. I'm just weird like that, so I'm just thinking maybe that fits better. Possibly tweak depending on players' party composition at this point in the game, knowing that the party members are somewhat limited still at this point in the game. Relative balance damage between tomato and plum, I mean. Okay, right, so, and they'll be the ones that deal the most damage. But it's not going to be OP. I agree with the point that was made about not being too OP, because we'll dead. We'll be dead if it is. Like, literally, something small. Because I think Rose and the hero was something like 120. I think the hero is like 120 HP at this point in the game. And Rose is about 100, around that anyway. So they're not very strong. So we wouldn't want to make him hit with too much. And same with the Plum. So here's the thing, if there isn't a narrative to on each of the paintings, then the only reason a player is going to care is because it gives them a sense of achievement or for completion bragging rights. That doesn't appeal to a player, so I don't think balancing fight around getting each painting an equal amount of time. If each of the fruit is equally attractive to kill the fight, will either be OP or too easy. Well, that's the thing. We could do more with the paintings. It doesn't necessarily have to just be a visual thing alone. Seeing a different paint, the second phase of the fight could be different based on what painting is there. I don't know, like, that's just something to consider. We haven't really fleshed out that second phase much at all at this point, so we don't even have a clue really how it's gonna work. But I feel like it should have something appealing about it then beyond just being a visual difference. That's just how I feel, especially if we're gonna go with what we've been saying about wanting, try and make the battle go in a way that a different painting has an equal chance of getting unlocked. At least getting them close enough for it to not be an obvious pick. Yeah, as long as it's not like 99% always apple last one on the field sort of thing. Yeah, those are our main damage boys, probably followed by apple and lemon for 5 turn attack, because others need to damage 2 in case player kills plum and tomato first. Otherwise it'd be a breeze afterwards, yeah. And as for Blueberry, he wouldn't do any hitting, yeah? He just does the heals and stuff. We've said that he does buffs here, but I don't know if he's going to be the buffer anymore, if we're going to have Apple do that job. And Apple, as far as I'm aware, he does a buff 1 turn, and then physical attack the next, and switches between them. I think that's what we've got here anyway. So maybe Blueberry's just healer. And healer in itself is very, very dangerous. You don't want a healer there. Healer is one that you go to kill quite fast. But he's going to be hard to kill with the lemon protecting him. So people will have to go for the lemon first. And then Blueberry, right? It's a very, very hard one, because there's just so many different ones. There's a lot of thinking. There's a lot of thinking involved with this. Making each fruit feel like they're a valid threat, equally important. That's the main goal. Yeah, that's a good way of doing it then. Like, we don't want one to be weak. We'll keep them all, make them all have a threat. Like, at the moment, Blueberry feels like the weakest because it doesn't do any damage to the party, but it's actually not weak at all because its heals are like horrible. Like, the heals will just, it'll make your turn pointless because it'll heal afterwards, perhaps. Well, we haven't decided how often he'd heal, but imagine if he healed every single turn. And are his heals AoE, or are they single target heals as well? That's something to consider about the Blueberry. If who's going to be Apple buffing and Blueberry healing anyway, yeah. So should we take away the buff for the Blueberry now? And just have Blueberry be a healer, Apple be buffer, Blueberry be healer. That'll keep things simple. If we have both Apple and Blueberry be buffers, things could get a bit crazy in battle. and it'll make it impossible if we got too many buffs going on. Blueberry will have his hands full healing, yeah. I feel like having Blueberry be healer only, and every single turn he does some form of heal, makes him much more dangerous, actually, because heals are worse than buffs, in my opinion, for us as the party. I feel they're more like something that's could just turn things around. But yeah, with Lemon defending him, it might be a better choice to get Lemon gone first, so you can actually effectively attack Blueberry. Whereas some players will say, no, we just need to straight kill healer first. Whereas some, yeah. So I think as long as we make it possible for either the Lemon or Blueberry to be killed, that's fine. Because Blueberry's not going to have much HP anyway, at all. So some people might ignore the fact that the Lemon defends him and just kill him anyway through pure strength, and think, he's got no HP anyway, so it won't take much to kill him. And others will be like, nah, Lemon's got to go down first. Yeah, it could be either way. It just depends whether you're more, what your style of fighting is as a player. Hi Seihan, welcome. Which game engine do you use? It's in the title, RPG Maker MV. Welcome to the stream. I do have a command that'll tell you more about RPG Maker if you're interested. How are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Maybe a cycle again. Turn 1 little single heal, turn 2 little group heal, turn 3 big single heal. Yeah, maybe different types of heals is a good thing to do then. So let's get all this down. Heals. Put healer there. I feel like we need to start making use of these numbered skills because there's nothing in here. So at the moment I'm going to go by your idea. And I think having the heal gradually get more, like, single target heal is less, it's not as bad as an AoE heal. So if, like, every turn the heal gets more effective, the player might feel more encouraged to kill Blueberry fast. It depends how many turns it'll take to kill Blueberry. Maybe it'll take 3 turns, maybe it'll take 4, maybe it'll take 2. We've got to decide how many turns for each as well. That isn't going to make the battle too easy or too impossible. Many combinations when it comes to math side of things, making each fruit equally likely to get killed first. Going to require the game to be balanced by making it take on average the same number of attacks to kill. Yeah. So that's another thing. How are there? Yeah. Because if Blueberry and Plum are the squishy ones, say if they only take 2 hits to kill and Lemon takes 5, people will still always go for the squishy ones. But I suppose if Lemon's defended them, they could still take 5 hits to kill. And if Lemon's not there, they'd only take 2, So Lemon being their defender makes them equally as strong as Apple, Tomato and Lemon. Doesn't have to be exact science, but I just worry that making more obvious picks would mean nobody ever sees the Lemon painting, that kind of deal. Every painting special. I'm the same, Battle Sandwich. I want everyone to see all the paintings. I want them all to be seen. And I feel like it'd be so cool. Like, it's not just about the visual. I really kind of want to make the second phase different as well. Maybe the dialogue that happens is different based on what paintings are. I feel like the painting that's there, maybe the fruit that was the last one killed also gets a more major part in the cutscene in phase 2 as well. They have the majority of the dialogue. They become like the MVP of the battle in a way. So there's more focus on that fruit, the one that was left till last and the one that the painting belongs to. It's an idea. I don't know what you guys think. I just want to make it cool, something that's different. Otherwise, people, like Zexy says, unless you're a completionist and a bragger, you're not going to really care, perhaps. Unless there's something really cool, like difference in dialogue or mechanics. To be fair, how the parties develop their early skills might change their priorities too, to shake things up. Yeah, and we're still early enough in the game, skill tree wise, to have not really unlocked many skills. But there's still branching past quite early. If you guys are here during our skill tree streams, there are like 1 or 3 different specialist branches for the vampire, warrior and hunter. So that could also, you know, whatever is picked for the players will change things maybe too. And you know, that's where the testing will come in. We'll have to play as each of the different types of builds people would have unlocked and see how the battle works. This battle is shaping up to be really cool and interesting for us, but if it is, it's super unique, and damn, there is a lot of thought that's going into it. It's pretty complex, but I'm glad about that. I'd rather have this sort of battle than some really generic one. I feel like this kind of battle is something people will remember. You know, it's memorable. You'll be like, remember that diamond fruits? The decavaragons. I cannot say it. They like it. It's the sort of battle that I believe would stick in your mind. It's not a forgettable one, and I think that's the goal. Make it memorable. We can help you with specific skill stats and balance testing when we get to that bit. The ideas feel very solid though. Yay! And welcome back, Neville. I think he's very old. Listen, I have an idea. I have 1,200 person Discord channel is served for game developers, usually game developers. Why don't you join us? I don't know what it is, but if you want to join our Discord and mention it in creative work channel, you can. My mind is 100% on this at the moment. I cannot think about anything else at the moment, but feel free to join our Discord, and if you got anything to show off, I do like encourage that. I'm not one of these streamers that are like, no, don't talk about your stuff here. I very much, I have that. I have a special channel for that stuff. Maybe they each get a different item. Oh yeah, that's a cool one as well. That's a cool idea, because we haven't discussed item rewards yet, but that's always a possibility that the item that drops at the end of the battle is different based on what the painting was. That's cool. So I feel like we will have another poll coming soon, perhaps, about decisions like this. Maybe we can have a poll tomorrow, perhaps, talking about how things can be different, like about the paintings, about how we can potentially add to what Elite just said, different item, and we can have a few winners in the poll. I'm kind of just intrigued to see what appeals to people. So for information, oh no, battle sandwich. Don't get being sorry. I'm glad. It's better having ideas than none at all. I'm mainly saying to Zayhun that, you know, I'm focused on this at the moment. I try my best to stay on topic on stream. That's kind of one of my goals, to stick on topic so we don't go too off track with what we're discussing. So anything that's about this is great. That's exactly what I want. And if anybody has anything off topic to say, whether it's about the game with something else, like another part of the game, or something about what they do, their game, or whatever, then Discord's the perfect place for that. I agree with Elite. From an opportunity cost perspective, I think the amount of work it's going to take to get to the math to give you the result you want is going to require better payoff to justify the work. I'm going to stop harping on the issue until we get to playtest in the fight. Yeah. So yeah, we don't. Yeah, and if we put a poll up or something, we don't have to put it up yet. It feels like it's still a bit early. But guys, if you have any poll ideas, you can say as well. It doesn't have to just be me that comes up with a poll idea. If you feel like one could be handy, but we don't have to do a poll every day. We don't have to at all, but in case anybody does. And oh my goodness, we got a draw again on this poll. How is going on? I think at this rate I'm going to be the one making the final decision, but we've still got an hour and a half until end of stream anyway, so we're all good. Okay, back to what we was doing. Every time you mention a new feature, my brain tries to figure out how to make it work. Slow down, brain. Yeah, Ellie, you rest your head. Blueberry's the best. It is. Tomato is best. Oh, this is what I like to see. People having different favourite characters. Okay, guys, what's our next thing going to be? What should we do next? Because we've talked a lot about... We've kind of summed up what each fruit does mechanics-wise, but I think it'll be really cool to be a bit more specific now and start thinking about individual skills they have, how often they use those skills, and just like the real detail parts of this fight. Because as soon as we've done that, I can begin the implementation. Then it's very hard to start implementing it in RPG Maker when you've not got those specific ideas, and then that's when things will get exciting, because we can implement them and then we can start doing the play testing. Phase 2, we'll get phase 1 out the way first. Who thinks it's a good idea to get phase 1 decided before we proceed on to phase 2? I think it's best to. What do you reckon? But also, I think as long as we don't overtune the stats for now, it should work out. We'll see. Feel it out as we go, I suppose. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with like it not being perfect. Like if it's not entirely balanced, you know, we're going to do all that last anyway. We might have to have a proper item stream where we talk more about the armour and weapons that Rose and the hero will have and stuff first before the balancing is 100% done, because we'll, of course, like Neville pointed out, we need to make sure that's all decided, which I kind of have done, but it might still get changed. But I like Plum even if he's a little less personified as the others are so far. So someone likes plum, someone likes blueberry, someone likes tomatoes. We need lemon and apple to be liked as well. Thank you, Elite. That was last week. I had to identify as a vegetable now. Yes, all the skills and Elite is here. There's a couple of points to tomato, I admit. I like lemon due to my personal headcanon of him. I'm glad everybody seems to like all the characters then. That's perfect. The poll is still a draw. Yeah, it is. And if we say, guys, if it's 6 o'clock and it's still a draw, I'm going to have to pick. And that's going to be really hard because I don't want to pick. You know, if I can't decide, which I probably won't, I'll probably leave it open a bit longer throughout the night. And then we'll close it first thing, like 3 PM tomorrow's stream. But we'll do that only if it's a draw. We'll see how close things are. If we've got like a really clear winner, then yeah, we'll close it today. If we haven't, I'll be inclined to let more peeps get votes in. We'll see how it goes. Welcome to the Discord. Okay, so right. So, is there anything on this list that I've not done, that I've missed out? Should we make this text a bit smaller so we can see it all a bit better? I know what does everybody think of this idea? Should we still keep this? Is it still going to work? I feel like it will, because that'll encourage, like we say, people to not pound down one at a time. Which I think is important if we want to. Maybe it's important anyway, I don't know. But I'll get rid of if any now, because I think we've said that lemon will do damage, but just not much. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to go back in chat and see what was mentioned about the healing for blueberry that Battle Sandwich said. So that was, let's just bold these just so we can see a bit better. That was something Battle Sandwich said, which I think is a good base to go on for the healing rotation. I'm going to label them by turns, I think, because then it'll probably, maybe, I don't know, because I'm not sure how we're going to do it, what the, but we'll see what the other skills are though. But I think it'll be a good idea to consider turns and what is each turn, because it'll keep the battle, like, make things balanced. We can work things out easier then. I personally like the marking mechanic. It's something that, to me, we could leave in, and then if it doesn't work, it's super easy to scrap. Yeah, that's cool, and that's we'll defo keep it there. I feel like we can just have it like that, because it doesn't fall into being a general skill for an individual fruit. It's an overall one, so we'll keep it there above them. If you attack blueberry, you get an anti-healing curse, and your life stealing and healing skills are not working. I like that. Rose sucks blueberry juice, it burns. Yeah, Neffel wants to protect the blueberry because they love the blueberry so much, but I feel like if something is going to be inclined to be killed first, which blueberry would be, because it's a healer and a bit of a glass, glass cannon isn't the term, is it, for blueberry? That would be for that one. Blueberry's the squishy one, that's the healer, so people would be wanting to kill blueberry. So I feel like we definitely, maybe Neffel's right, maybe we need to kind of punish the player for hitting blueberry, but we do already have lemon being blueberry's protector, so that kind of helps blueberry not get killed as well. But maybe we do need to balance it more. What do you guys think? Since tomato is red, Rose should get extra healing from it. Blueberry's too sweet for vampire taste. That's a very good point as well. Something we need to consider is that these fruits actually don't have blood like a normal. I suppose it's always been something on my mind by how Rose, the vampire class, will work against creatures that don't have blood. I'm assuming she could still get some kind of life source from them, even though it isn't actual blood. It could still, we could manipulate it so she still gets life source from them, I guess, because it's their blood at the end of the day. It's their blood, even though it's not real blood. But that's one way to do it. Assuming lemon is protecting everyone, or the trade-off for hitting blueberry first is simply that plum and tomato are getting an extra couple of turns, dishing out their damage interrupted. Okay, so I'll take that in a sec then, Battle Sandwich. I think that black players should be punished for choosing an easy way to kill blueberry fast. Yeah. Since the fruit and animated by magic, she's sucking some of that magic rather than sucking blood. Yeah, that's true as well. We could, the whole way of handling vampires is interesting. Like, if we wanted to go pure realism, she would suck against anything that didn't have blood. But if we want to just She'd be useless though. She'd be absolutely useless in this battle if that's the case. So it's interesting. Killing leader first is very common. This encourages player to try different stats. So yeah, I think that's a cool. What Neffel says is a good point for sure. We should maybe we should think of that. We'll get some written down in a minute. If you wanted a specific punishment type thing, maybe blueberries hit the other fruits get 1 turn damage buff or something. A 1 turn damage buff. Like what sort of damage buff? I'm intrigued. Okay, so I'm going to read what you said before as well, Battle Sandwich. The trade-off for hitting blueberry first is simply that plum and tomato are getting an extra couple of turns. Yeah, so yeah, that's true. They're hurting us more. But at the same time, if blueberry is healing, they'll also get healed. It's a hard one, this battle, so I won't know who to kill first. Or a specific fruit such as lemon spends his turn doing his one biggish attack rather than just defense buffing. Blueberry healing shouldn't be very strong so players don't get annoyed. Yeah, we got to be careful. Like, we want blueberry to be the perfect balance between lethal so that the players are tempted to kill him. Because if it's useless, like if his heals are too small, people just ignore him. But at the same time, we don't want him to be so OP that it's just impossible. You know, we got to get that balance right. 1 turn damage buff makes sense lore-wise. Blueberry's cute, everyone loves him. Other fruits are enraged that you would hit him. I like the second idea better, getting revenge. Okay, guys, I'm trying to get my brain to give because it's turned a bit mushy. So someone spell out what I need to write down here about blueberry's thing that we're going to do, this damage buff, because my brain's like just mushy. if you spell it out for me, I can write it word for word then, because I like the idea. I just got mushy brain syndrome. So basically, remember the 1-5 turns attack lemon does? Yeah, okay. I think we need to get that written down as well. Well, we have got it written down. But I feel we need to get it down as a skill rather than have it there, perhaps. And same with Apple, with his alternating between the buff. So, yeah. Zex idea is nice. Maybe if blueberry dies, the rest of the fruits will get stronger. If blueberry dies, it's a game over because you're a monster for hurting him. You go to jail. Lemon gives a blurb saying, "Hey, that's mean. Stop and attacks with that skill." Oh, that's cool. See, I'm a big fan of having some dialogue pop-ups in this battle as well, so I like that idea. So basically what you're saying is that the lemon will get an extra attack turn if you kill blueberry. I would just want to get this clear, but I've got it right. We love blueberry. I feel like blueberry's the sweetheart in this, and even though some of them are evil, lemon and tomato, you've got the goodies here. I'm not sure if plum's as good or as apple, but blueberry definitely is a sweetheart. Maybe plum and apple are neutral. Chaotic evil, lawful evil, true neutral, chaotic neutral. I don't know, but definitely they're all. I'd say that they differ personality-wise. We're going to end up giving them alignments next at this rate. I'm not against doing that though. If you've got an alignment in mind for them, we can write that down. We're going all the way. An extra turn, or it will just make it so if he spends his following turn doing his big attack, whichever is easiest to implement. So it could work as a sort of counter attack in a way. Like if you hit the blueberry, lemon says that's mean. And counter attacks, because I've already implemented a counter attack before with our deer. We have a deer enemy here. He's got a retribution skill, counterattacks if hit while having red eyes. So I'm sure I won't struggle implementing something like that. We need to get it all written down so we don't forget all this stuff. If player hits blueberry, lemon will say, hey, that's mean. Stop. If anybody has any ideas for the dialogue, if anyone's, then totally feel free to say, but that's a good one to go on. I'll just say an attack, so I hope that's, well, I think that'll sum it up okay. Because he's only going to add that one attack anyway, isn't he? Hey. There we go. It's been a butt face. I'm trying to get it on the second one. It won't let me, so I'll do that instead. There we go. Oh no, what have I done? I'll put it into tomato instead. This is how you know my brain's melted when I do stuff like that. So I want to move attacks once every 1 to 5 turns in here now. So I feel like anything that's to do with skills, I want it here. And I kind of, what's here is just how it works mechanically. If anybody has is there anything I'm missing, then feel free to say, because I feel like for the rest of this stream it's going to be important really getting the details down on how each of these fruits work in battle, what they do each turn, what they do if somebody's hit, things like that. Anyway, let's catch up. So lemon skills, blueberry hit, then lemon is angry and attacks, which, yeah, that's there, so we've got that. Main lemon skill is party defense and M defense buff to then advise getting rid of him, and think it might still be worth having him do his 1 blueberry based attack every 5 turns, just so make sure he's hurting the party. Yeah, so what we got there, which is what you said for point 3, that is your point 1. So point 2 is the one we're missing. Main lemon skill is defense and magic defense buff to, so right, so he has a buff, that's what you're saying. So he should have the buff and not Apple then. What, yeah, we need to consider what buffs Apple's going to actually have. We don't want to make Apple useless. Apple's got to have some importance, because other people are going to just always leave Apple as the last one alive if he's got nothing there that's very dangerous about him, because I feel like all the others are dangerous. Lemon's dangerous because it's just such a defender. Blueberry's dangerous because he's such a healer. Plum and tomato because they give the most damage, but Apple is definitely the one people aren't going to kill, I think. So we need to give him something that is very dangerous. But I'm going to make sure we get Battle Sandwich's point about the defense buff. My tummy's doing a rumbler. To whole party. I think I've got that correct, I hope. Let me know if I've put anything in wrong though, guys. Apple skills, high crit attack, damage, party damage buff. Yeah, because that'll make use of his good crit, so that's a good one. But the question is Apple's high crit as powerful as Tomatoes? It probably won't be, will it? because tomato always has to be the strongest. But I'd say apple will still be stronger than lemon. So turn 1. Party damage buff. So party damage buff, is that an increase of attack? So that means everyone will attack with more. Is Apple still, you know, lethal enough though? I feel like he's still the most useless out of everybody. I think so. Apple buffs the drop rate of loot for when the fruit kill the party. Apple buffs the drop rate of loot. Hang on, let me type that in. I'm getting confused. So you're saying that there should be more loot that drops from Apple. I'm trying to get that. I'm not absorbing that info. It's my fault completely. I'm the one with melted brain syndrome at the moment. His magic attack buffs could easily be a big deal. Maybe 25% buff or something for all fruits for 1 turn. Yeah, we feel like we're going to have to make it quite strong to give an incentive to kill him. Otherwise people will just leave him. $20 to 25% increase. That work maybe. And he'd only have the 2 that he alternates between. So now it's our attackers. It's just tomato and plum. Are they going to just hit 100% at the time? I feel like that's how they'll work. Same attack over and over again, or has anybody got any ideas that go deeper than just a normal attack over and over again for these 2? No, but tomato doesn't have the damage buffs for his party, so I think that's fine. No, referring to apple not being as strong as tomato's attacks. Yeah, that's true. Tomato's just pure attacker. I feel like that's what they probably should be, because if we give them buffs as well or other attacks, they'll just be too OP, and it will also make apple weaker. Because that's Apple's, I suppose, strong point, the fact he does that buff. The fruits are suddenly doing, yeah, that is a big deal. I'm probably still underestimating Apple. It could completely, it's got to make the battle just way more harder with Apple there. It has to, just to encourage people to get rid of him. I would say that when the fruit kill the party, they loot the party in Apple's skill buff. What loot they see is the hunter skill that does the same. Yeah, we do have a hunter skill that does it, yeah. And I take jokes, literally. I can't, if you know me, guys, I can't detect sarcasm or jokes. I have a problem where I can't do that. It took me a bit, but then I clicked like Lego. Tomatoes skills. But yeah, if you want to expand, if there's anything like you've said that you think's cool, I don't mind talking about it more in the skill discussion if we haven't had a chance to properly talk about it. The whole, if there's anything. Basic attack, heavy attack with lower hit chance, potentially a cleave star hits everyone in front row attack or something. Oh, an AoE attack, that is lethal for sure. Or a damage over time bleed style attack. And let him alternate little and big hit. Okay, so you guys do think they should have different skills then, not just the same attack. Plum, regular range magic attack, high damage single attack, mid to. Okay, so maybe we should get those in. We'll get those in as an idea. And at some point, whether it'll be tonight or over the weekend, I'll take a screenshot of all this and pop it in the skill discussion channel, so everybody can see. And if anything sticks out, feel free to talk about it as well. Oh, we still got the drawer on this poll. Okay, so I'm gonna put your ideas in mouth sandwich, because I think you have a good grasp on things and how this is gonna work. So let's get it. Should I just say, hang on. You say it's everyone in front row, and it's interesting because Rose and the warrior would be front row, I assume. But if it was Rose and the hunter, the Rose would be at the front and the hunter would be at the back, because he's ranged. I don't really think I've had a look at different rows yet, but it's definitely a thing, so that's probably how we do it. And I guess the question is, shall this third attack be something that only hits people in the front row, or shall we just have it as a hit everyone thing, simply because, you know, if you're the hunter, you've got an advantage straight away in this battle over the warrior. But, you know, warriors got good at things. Maybe a North Front row kind of deal, because not enough player. Yeah, that's also a thing too. We've only really got Rose and the hero too. So should we just have it? What should we do? Should we have it so it hits two of them? Like hits everyone, all party members. That's probably the simplest way to put it, isn't it? Maybe Plum should be the only one with a full AoE. Maybe give Tomato a poison bleed damage over time for a special third attack. Yeah, maybe. A single one. I think it's pretty obvious that means single anyway. Plum, regular ranged. Yeah, because it'd be way OP if it was a little bit more. High damage single attack on mild to regular damage magic attacks that debuff the target. Oh yeah, we don't have a debuffer, do we? That's something to consider. Maybe that's a good idea then for Plum. Don't know if you have states set up yet. We've been messing around with a few of them. Because some of our enemies here that we've got in the Everbloom Forest have poison, and there's quite a few actually. So that have been messing around with a few. They're very disorganised though. the state section in my RPG Maker database, so I'm going to have to organise them a little bit better, I'd say. But we're still early on in the game for it to not be too much of a big job for me to do. So who will make the biggest damage? Plum and Tomato, yes. They're the heavy hitters. Plum magical, ranged, Tomato melee. But both equal in terms of the damage they do deal. So what was this point? We had an ability that synergizes with plum, and I'm confused by what that means. Does that literally just mean they're both the same in terms of them being damage dealers? Because we can remove it otherwise if it's irrelevant now. Also, this, are we going to have it so it does it every one of these every single turn, or shall we have it random? I guess it's thinking, are we going to have it completely be RNG based with what these attacks is used, or should we do it how we got Blueberry, where it's one turn for that to that? Random might be good, yeah, okay. And do we think Blueberry's better having it be more organised and having it in turns, or should we have it random for Blueberry as well? Because I automatically just ended up putting it in turns, but I'm still not, it doesn't have to be that if random will work better. Otherwise, if all fruits do 1, 2, 3 sets, you'll have 1 turn of mare attacks from a lot of them, and suddenly 1 turn of super attacks from all of them. That's true as well. Yeah. The synergy idea was tomato does some damage and makes plum do even more damage. Moot point now, I disregard it. Oh, okay. So as long as it's not gonna, if it works, then I'm totally up for considering something like that. But are you guys happy with what we got? That's the main thing. Do you think this battle could work based on what we've got here? Also, I think we've we kind of said apple could invade, yeah, well, that's kind of what we got as a buffer, but we've made plum be a sort of debuffer, so apple doesn't need to be that, they can just be the buffer, I guess. So that's what we've got. I think you guys can see that, hopefully. I hope it's not too small, the text. So if anything pops out that you think, oh, actually that could maybe not work, and totally feel free to say. Blueberry's the easiest to leave as a set cycle, just because it doesn't bulk balance with anybody else to leave it like that. Yeah, I'd go with the fruit skill are random except for lemons and blueberries. Yeah, so yeah, that's very true. Lemons, so really lemon, all lemon is doing is attacking once every 5 turns, and every other time they'll do that. So the other 4 turns they'll do that buff thing. And will it, I assume it'll stack, because it'll be irrelevant if it doesn't stack. Be redundant, should I say. And that is just an extra thing for in case it hits the blueberry. I should probably put that as the 3rd one, actually. But seeing as it's not an actual skill in the lemon cycle. And as well, the apple has like turns as well. So it seems like blueberry, lemon and apple have a turn order of things, but tomato and plum are the random ones. It's more random with them. And does it all seem balanced to you all? Do you reckon that all these fruits are equal in terms of dangerous factor? This all looks great. Yay, me too. We've done really good getting a skill plan today, because that was something we hadn't got before this stream, so good job us. I think we're at the point that we can start implementing now, and then really it's just all we have to do then is think about phase 2, think about dialogue, cutscenes. But should we get the I guess it's thinking, what should we do now? Should we focus on implementation of phase 1 now, before we consider anything at all to do with phase 2 and the cutscenes? Or should we do phase 2 and the cutscenes and then implement it all in one go? I guess it's because I totally don't mind. I'm intrigued by what you guys might think could work best, because we could do either. It could stack like last 3 turns each time maybe, or something like that. Nifty idea. I feel like it has to, otherwise it utterly is pointless. You know what I mean? If he's just spamming that defense buff over and over again for 4 turns, you know, and it doesn't stack. So yeah, we'll have it as a stacker. Damn, Lemon's dangerous, that's for sure. Yeah. Yay, go us. Stacking good. The synergy thing was like what we're doing with Lemon and Plum, except instead of Tomato making Plum live longer, he makes Plum kill faster. But that doesn't play into equal threat levels, so I changed Tomato's minor damage. Since he isn't boosting Plum's killing power, he needs killing power of his own to make him a threat. Okay, so let's look at Tomato. So I will literally just remove minor and just put damage. Is that it? Or should we do some, is there anything else? Yeah, we need to make sure they're all a threat. I definitely feel Plum, Tomato, yes. Blueberry, yes. Lemon, for sure. Yeah, I feel like we've done quite well and made them all equally dangerous now. At first I wasn't sure Apple was dangerous enough, but like you said, that party damage buff could be quite lethal. That having an increase like that makes them a bit dangerous. I suppose we have to think, does they stack as well? It's gonna have to, isn't it? Unless it wears off every 2 turns, the party damage buff. I suppose it could just wear off. And that's why he has to cast it again. Because if we have it stack, it could be really OP. Or maybe that's a good thing, it's that OP. I'd recommend implement phase 1, release it first to playtest, then focus on cutscene and dialogue. That way we can playtest while you're still working on other things. Then you can adjust the fight with feedback, then go on to phase 2. That's a good idea as well. Get one part done and out the way, and then we can focus on other things after. So that is something to consider, like releasing things for playtest, because we haven't done it quite yet. And I think the reason I haven't released any form of playtest is because everything's quite messy. But I don't have to make you guys go through like Fall and the Everbloom Forest. I could always just have a project where we've got the map with just the encounter of the fruits, and then you guys can run straight into them and do the battle. But I'd have to set everything up. I'd have to make sure Rose and the heroes, you know, stats are how they would be at that part of the game. And that's something else to consider, because we haven't really considered how many class points each of the Everbloom Forest enemies will give us, because that's going to be our like experience sort of thing. We'll get class points that we can use to unlock skills and stats in the skill tree. And we haven't really decided how many each of those will give yet. So it's going to actually be quite tricky, you know, to know how strong Rose and the hero will be at this point with the boss. So that's something we might have to do beforehand before we release a playtest. True Baldy, thank you so much for that Twitch Prime 3 months. I appreciate that. And some people have got some emotes in chat. Who got them? I want to see them. Thank you, True Baldy. I appreciate that. I hope you're having a wonderful day. How's it going? Hope it's all going good. Are you ready for the holidays, True Baldy? But yeah, I can just estimate it, I guess. I can think, well, because we got our skill trees, and I have a good idea that by the time we get to this boss, they'll probably have learnt at least 2 skills on the skill tree, I'd say. So there'll be a bit of guesswork, but I'll try my best to get it as close as possible to what it will end up being. I'm not that big a fan of Christmas and all the fancy stuff, to be honest. Oh, well, yeah, some people's don't. But as long I liked it when I was a kid, but as I've got older, it's got less of a thing for me. But it was fun during once I was little. Also, you've talked about how you want grinding to be an option for players, so you have to make a decision on what you want the maximum level of the party to be for the fight. Yeah, that's true as well. And people might grind, that's the thing. People might go back and fight enemies if we're going to have them respawn, which could make them potentially very OP. But at the same time, they might not be very OP, because it's not. There will probably be a gate on our skill tree. I mean, we've only done the first 4 skills so far of the skill tree, and no stats. So stat wise, things might not increase. The HP of the hero and Rose and anything else will probably stay the same until the Everbloom Forest is over, maybe. So that'll make things a bit easier, because it's really hard to like predict what's beyond the skill tree at this point, because we've only done the first 4 skills. Because I believe us as we'd expand the skill tree when we get to the next dungeon, whether that's the cave. That's probably going to be the cave in the Everbloom Forest, I'd say. And we'll probably think about what comes after then. Hey, Battle Sandwich, guess what? I want to know as well. But yeah, that's an idea then. So we've got all this sorted. So I suppose next priority is going to be get this implemented then. And we still do have other stuff to do. Oh my goodness, thank you for the gift sub to Battle Sandwich. My goodness me. Can we have some hype for True Baldy, please, peoples? I appreciate that. And Battle Sandwich, I hope you enjoy your emotes and your double raindrops. But yeah, we've got, so this is one job, we can get these skills implemented, and the other one, we've still got Barrel stuff to do. Carol the Barrel assets and her cutscene, and we've still got the cutscenes as well that'll be before and after the flashback. So if we ever did want to have a break from the skills stuff, because it's getting a bit intense, can always do that too. But as for the other parts of the battle and cutscene, we'll do those after. But it'd be cool to mix things up just for variety, because I like to do that to stop myself getting burnt out on one area, especially when it comes to skills, because it's my weak point. But it has to be done, it's important. Thanks a bunch, you are welcome. Yeah, Suzo, that's awesome of you, thank you. Yeah, True Baldy's too kind to me, thank you so much. That's True Baldy's Christmas present to me and Battle Sandwich. More hype in chat. Now let's see how our poll's getting on. Oh, we still got a draw. You know, I'm gonna do this poll. I'm gonna let you guys vote if you haven't voted already. Please vote. But if we still don't have like a clear winner, I'm inclined to keep this poll open another day. So we'll see. Also, I'll be going on a BRB shortly as well, because I need a snack. I'm getting a hungry one. Yeah, we're going to BRB now. So feel free to talk amongst yourself, chat, have a ramble. And I'll see you soon. I'll be a few minutes. Hello, I am back. It's very cold. I should have put my onesie on. I have this onesie. It's the bear onesie. It's getting a bit scruffy now, but it's very cozy. I used to wear it and stream a lot. Taking a break from streaming RPG Maker to do some Pokemon. Ooh, Elite, you're having a break from your RPG Maker project. Have you got burnout? Or you just wanted to do something different? Doggo's just panicked the heck out of me. Missed the last tiny bit. This is just a break, or is Rose done for today? I am not done for today. No. Not until 6. We're going on longer. You still got me, unfortunately. Well, I know you like having me, really, guys. I'm just kidding with you. I know I make your days. I take the time from everything else to make more music. Good. Bit busy in the office lately, but this will blow over this week when we're heading for Christmas time. Yay! Well, you'll get a vacation, won't you, True Baldy? Why do I say vacation? I'm not American. It's holiday here in England. That's our word for vacation. Yes, 2 weeks. See, that's good. That's one good thing about Christmas. You get a haul. So, yay. Oof, it's a shame the Polly's still a tie after all this time. I guess Rose will have to cast her vote. I know. Guys, so we've got a toner. I want to have a little quick chat before we move on. What do you think about the top 3? What's your personal opinion on the top 3, chat? I'm intrigued. I want people to influence me. I want to get a bit influenced by people here. Oh gosh, what is going on here? Have we got someone doing a vote? I can see the numbers changing. Oh my goodness me. The excitement. The poll. I voted. Make Carol vote first, but that means I get 2 votes and that would be cheating. I took my vote for E on the polls because I think those sprites would make for good enemies later on at some point. So now it's just tied between C and A. Oh, okay, that's interesting. See, I want you guys to say things now. I want you to influence me like battle sandwiches. Tell me why A is better than C, or why C is better than A, or why E is better than C, and tell me all the things. I need to get influence because it's looking like it might be a draw. So... and it's going to have to be one of them that win because not B, D and F are too far behind even if I voted for them. So, you had 2 American. Rex is a bad influence. Yeah, Rex has turned me into an American. Oh no. Honestly, A, the ladies might make interesting sprites for future at some point, so I'm sponsoring C. Oh, so that is why you feel like the orbs are the least interesting, so that's why they should be... that's why they should be on the painting. That is true as well. The orbs are very abstract. I don't know if I'd call them an actual monster, but they work for a painting. I can see why they're popular. Oh, we have it. Somebody's voted. There we go. Thought Carol already voted to add to the reactions in the first place. Carol does vote on the other types of polls we do. When it's an actual poll done by the poll bot, the reactions automatically get added. But when I do one manually, I need Carol to do it. So that's when Carol comes in. You know, when we do the ones with the emojis, we've done them in the past. But sometimes we do polls this way just because it's too impossible to match up an emoji with these, so we use letters. But unfortunately this poll, we're forced to use letters in this poll. We can't use cute emojis, so it's only useful when we want to use letters. Yay, C. My other thought C, because while A and E are cool, they would be... oh, I've already read that one. Actually, they don't work as standalone monsters quite well. I like the element style of C. I don't think they'd work for an actual monster exactly. The abstractness of it. So you guys like C because you feel it suits the whole painting style best. I see that for sure. So yeah, that's something to consider. Thanks guys for influencing me. But it looks at the moment that I don't get a vote because we've got a winner, but it's not the end of the stream yet, so things might change. So double utility, yeah. But orbs can totally be monsters, right? They're still monsters, guys, even if you don't believe it, they are. Look, that's a monster. Rose, you get a vote, you can make it a tie. But then what happens if it's a tie? Tell me what happens then. Then we don't have a winner again. Then it would be terrible. You break all ties. Right, so I do have a question. Looking at the story, the fruits, the plan was they let slip that they actually planned to paint a number of ferocious monsters that will allow them to conquer the world. Are the orbs ferocious monsters, guys? That's a question I do have for you. They could be. I'm not saying they're not, I'm just wondering if they are, in your opinion. I've seen plenty of ferocious orbs in RPG games. Maybe just tweak it like... What do you want, Rose? See, I don't know. This is why I do this. Because I let you guys decide. Otherwise, I'd just be like, no, guys, we're not doing polls. I'm deciding everything. I'm choosing, accept it. But I like to see what you guys say. That orb killed my family and burned down my own village. They planned to paint a series of symbols of power that would let them take over the world or something like that. So we got, you know what I mean? Zexy says we can adjust the story if necessary of his submission, but at the same time, we don't want to change it too drastically that it becomes a plot hole as well. So we have to just think. Because I think the reason, as far as I'm aware, the reason why they want to have monsters is to bring them to life. And that's the whole reason they need Rose, because they need her blood to do that. I need to think about this, actually, because we have the whole sentience thing, and is it all going to tie in? I believe it was all going to tie in, wasn't it? I'm rambling now, I'm not making sense. But I do want the story to stay on track as well. But it's not that big a deal if the orbs do win, because I purposely added them there anyway, in case anybody wanted something a bit more abstract. And they're still monsters anyway. Hi Fantasia, thank you for the host. So if we did orbs, it could be elemental styles of things. Yeah. I mean, they're all monsters. That's the truth. Orbs are a bit less monstrous than the monstrous than the others, but they're still monsters. I don't know. We might have to change things slightly if we have to, but we'll think about it. I'm up for you guys saying things, but we're at a draw again anyway. Look, we got some votes again. I see and hear a drawing again, so nothing's won. Orbs haven't won at all yet. So you don't even need to tweak it. The idea that they paint monsters is contingent on them getting Rosie's blood. Once they lose phase 1, that idea is out the window. They're in survival mode, so they paint an orb because it was quick and easy to hide behind. Yeah, that's true too. Sometimes there's always a way around things. They would be formed into monsters, just kind of unthinking. You do magic though, but not quite bodies like we think of much as vessels. That's an alternate, pretty intangible if you want a different approach. Yeah, maybe it was already painted. I know we had the idea that they couldn't start painting until we had Rosie's blood. But, they might have done some paintings beforehand and then had the plan. You know, they're artists. What artists have never painted before? I'm rambling so much right now. You can tweak it. I'm just saying it's not a plot hole or anything. That's all the time I have. See you soon. True Baldy, thank you for stopping by and for giving the gift sub to Battle Sandwich, and for your sub as well. I appreciate it, and I hope you have a lovely holiday, and we'll talk soon, I'm sure. Take care, True Baldy. Hi Kung, how are you doing today? It's awesome to see you. How's it going, Kung? I'll be honest, I like the idea of them being monsters in the form of vessels for magical critters. Yeah, I'm sure we can always adapt it like to something else, as long as the story doesn't go too off track. It won't harm altering things slightly if necessary. But I'm afraid Orb is losing now, everybody, so we might not even have Orb as the winner. I know it's heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking when your favourite doesn't win. That's the nature of this project. Sometimes we're going to have winners that we don't like, and we just have to adapt to it, so... So even though they're just orbs, they're neat little dudes. Yeah, it's good. I mean, I like that we're considering this in case the orbs do win, but I literally just turned my head and looked and saw that they're not anymore. So this is crazy. This is what I mean. We can think something's winning, and then everything changes, and we end up with another thing. You could also have a few canvases around. One was only blank. The fruit just hide behind one that's already painted on, and the blank one they were doing to use to bring monsters is still alive, is still blank, because remember, Rose needs a blank canvas to paint on after the fight. Yes, exactly. I don't know if you guys saw the Everbloom Forest scene that I'd planned, but I've got a little, hang on, let's get it up. I might as well get it up now. I'll open RPG Maker. So, where are you, RPG Maker? Don't hide. Here we go. So this was just like the area where the monsters are encountered. I don't know if we're going to use those slimes as the actual slimes, because, I mean fruits, not slimes, what am I going on about? But, pardon me, but because they don't animate, so I might find some better ones. They are actually slimes, by the way, but I just added the grass thing on top of their head and it turned them into fruits. So we have a blank canvas here, and that's kind of the one Rose is meant to paint on. And yeah, if we wanted to make it look like they painted more, we could always like have more here. But they do, in the fight itself, they don't have the, you know, the wooden part, it's just the canvas though. But we can always change the scene around if it fits with the story or something better. Still a draw. I know, Neffel, it's been crazy because we thought that one was winning, and we were talking about what would happen if it won, and then the votes changed and it's losing now, the one that was winning. It's a crazy poll. Oh my goodness, Van, nearly 300 raindrops. The Everbloom Forest scene that I planned. Wait, what? Rose, you made a plan? This Rose is a fake. Are you saying that real Rose is not a planner? Thought if we go with ladies in the end, though I still support the Orby friends, you could potentially make it somehow that when you defeat the painting, it gets launched off that cliff or something, and you think it's gone, but it gets found by the villain later in the story. Hang on, let me read that again. Yeah, who knows? Maybe they can make a return at some point. You never know. And it was as far as I'm aware, X's idea about bringing the paintings to life. You guys say that these would work as well as monsters. Well, there could be monsters. They could literally come to life, you know, at a later point, whether it's in the Everbloom Forest, in a side quest, or the main quest before we leave to go to the next zone. You know, that's like they could literally do that if that was the whole point of what they were up to. Did you decide something about my blueberry? We did. We were talking about them, and we have made him. He's a super cool healer, and we decided that Lemon's going to protect him. And if you hit the blueberry, Lemon will say, "Hey, that's mean. Stop," and he attacks the party. So Lemon is the protector. It's a kind of counter-attack, I guess. Bless him. That makes Lemon quite cute, actually. I didn't like Lemon much because I thought he's a meanie. You thought meanie face. He's a bitter old fogey, but he protects the blueberry, so it's lovely. Main reason for saying that it's just say it doesn't necessarily mean we can't reuse cool sprites if we use them now, which was a concern of mine. Also, don't think he changed, but we did solidify his healy goodness. Orbs are monsters, stares into the distance, consuming my mind. Yeah, so just so you know, Battle Sandwich, They can come. We can have it as part of a story that we do fight them, because they do come to life. Being as that is actually what the story is. Let me double check. Let's make sure I didn't dream that scenario. Rose's blood mixed with the secret herbs of this grove make a magic paint which they can use to bring their paintings to life. So I don't know whether that means literally the actual canvas comes to life, because I know we had a poll the other day that was, is the painting alive or is it not alive? And the not alive won. So people like the idea of the painting not being alive in the actual battle. But, you know, I don't know, it's a thing here. The fact that they want to bring them to life, but they failed anyway because we kill them, so they're not allowed. Maybe if you let them escape and live, they'll run away and regroup and bring the planes to life. God knows. I've got all sorts of ideas going through my mind right now. I'm thinking side quests for if you keep them alive now, because that'll be cool. But I don't know. They're evil. I don't care what you say. They're evil, guys. Who's the evil one out of the group? Who's the evil one out of this group? Who is the one planning all the evil deeds? Is it you, Tomato? I want to know who's responsible. Is it Plum? Maybe Plum's actually Eve, being the evil wizard this whole time. Tomato. So I meant whatever they paint crawls out the painting, becoming real, but it would be that the painting itself just becomes a mimic or something. Oh, so you actually do mean that they crawl out the painting and become real. So what Battle Sandwich said about it's a shame if we use good assets that could have been actual monsters, that can become a thing. But maybe only if we make them live. We have the end of battle, kill them, let them live. If we let them live, that means that they can continue on with their evil plan and keep painting. Right? And maybe, I don't know, I'm just thinking if we did pick one of these fancy monster ones, we could, there is always the option to use them as actual monsters, seeing as the whole plot is that they crawl out the painting and become alive at some point. It's not impossible to do that. I'm not saying we have to go that route, but it's just a possibility. It's something that could be a thing. Blueberry is the most orb-like. It could be yeah, I changed my mind. I'm gonna let them live. The painting itself just becomes a mimic. What do you mean by a mimic? So that's why we throw the painting off the cliff. Did you mean, because how I visualised it was the canvas comes alive? Is that what you mean by mimic? But I don't know if I like it like that. I think I prefer it coming out the painting, the monster. I think it's more interesting that way. And it allows us to reuse the assets as well for side quests or whatever, whenever, just a possibility. This poll is crazy. It is. It's a draw. We don't have a winner, everyone. People can't decide which one they like the most. They throw the painting and the paints and the stuff off the cliff to prevent the fruits from reusing any of it. And we steal the rose because no blood for fruits no more. So you're saying there's no chance, even if we let them live, we've thrown everything off the cliff so they're not able to do their evil deeds anymore. If they live though, I'm curious what they will do. But say if like the evil lady, the badass lady painting wins. The painting's already been made, and I know they're not alive at the moment, but maybe they do crawl out the painting. Because they, you know, maybe they do, but not in this battle. Maybe the painting's on the floor and they crawl out of it after. I don't know. This is crazy. Just so many ideas. And we steal the, yeah, 1 rose added to inventory. Mimics are monsters that pretend to be non-existent to lure prey. Normally they pretend to be treasure chests, but you can have anything as a mimic. The door asset you're using on canvas was an example. Yeah, I thought that's what you meant. So you meant actually in the canvas as a object, a living object then. Yeah, throw it all off the cliff, and if they live, then we can potentially bring them back later in the side quest. Or just minor encounter for fluff. It would be nice if the last boss in the game was Evil Queen. Who knows who the last boss is? At this point, it's impossible to predict. Just no clue how the game will even end. This is the fun of it. It's the fun thing about doing a game where there's a lot yet to come and decide. Thank you, Sir Demia, for the follow. I appreciate it. Although if you kill them, I suggest one actually ends up being not killed and comes back later for vengeance and a quick one-off. Ideally, Blueberry lives and becomes super angry and turns into the dark mojo and you have to put him down. My God, Blueberry being like that, oh my goodness. That would be a twist. Because he's the sweet pea. He's the sweetheart, guys. Honestly, guys, there's been some interesting ideas here about how this could all potentially go, and my mind can't take them all in right now, but if you really like any, I want you to pop them in the ideas discussion, because at some point I will probably be tempted to put up a poll saying what happens to the fruits if you let them live. You know, and just gather all the ideas that have been said and see what comes out on top. But would it seem like we like if we don't kill any of them, if we say kill them but they're actually alive, could that come across as we're not taking the choices seriously? That it's one of these games that you say you kill them but you don't kill them really. I feel like we have to be firm with our choices and the consequences. But if you live and let them, I don't know. I think that's still, it's cool. Something to consider. Definitely don't like to not take it into consideration. I want to hopefully I'll remember it if we do a poll or something like that. But we'll definitely have to have a stream where we discuss dialogue and cutscene and how it's all gonna all go at some point. I think it fits that firm decision making and consequences, a tough one that's tangible rather than just a hand wave. Yeah, that's true as well. Yes, because we had a poll where we voted to give the player a choice. I feel that we need to have this choice be what the player selects. And to be honest, Blueberry would still die in the end, so all good. But it isn't good if Blueberry dies. Well, I don't know. I just think it's interesting to have one of them be really a sweetheart out of this group, and well, maybe even 2 of them be quite sweet, and then a couple of them be awful, because that makes the decision harder. Then, if they're all evil, then it's easy to kill them. But one thing we do know is that they will make a return, because we have that. So let them live. We 100% know that in some form or another they will be returning. The question is how and when. So at some point we will probably discuss that. Okay, so what we're going to do now then, because we have still got a bit of time left. I don't want to finish up yet. As for the poll, I honestly don't know. I feel like I want to leave it open again for another day because it's too close to call. And even if I made the final decision, it doesn't seem fair because it's just so close at this point. Well, the whole point in the player making choices is to have consequences, right? If they're all killed, then that's the end of it. No more fruit related stuff. Doesn't provide anything interesting really, but if Blueberry, the good one, somehow survives without us noticing and turns bad and tries to get revenge, that's an interesting consequence in my opinion. Yeah. It does definitely change Blueberry a lot as well, because if he's the sweet one and the one that people, the reason people kept them all alive because they loved Blueberry so much, it's quite interesting if in the other option, if you end up killing them, he actually ends up the reason, the evilest of them all. It could change it and make, yeah. It is interesting, I have to say. But I like to consider all ideas, but that's a cool one. I'm intrigued. Yeah, all the possibilities, guys. What I'm trying to say is you had us vote a few days ago if the game makes a decision, or if the player makes a decision with the player's choice one. I feel like the player chooses to kill them. I think they need to die. Also think there needs to be an in-game reward and add more skill for killing them, since you're locking out future quest rewards. Yeah, so if you let them live, then you don't get anything in the battle. Is that what you're saying? Absolutely nothing at all. Because I think one idea, I think it was Elite's idea, that based on the painting that's there, the reward will be different. So that was a cool one. I think that you should make the final decision, Rose. Yeah, I don't want to make the final decision now. This is a community game, so I will only make final decision if the poll's been up ages and I'm forced to. But I feel like we can still let this one go on a bit longer. We've got 3 draws. We've got a draw here with 3. It's a bit close. So yeah, Zexy, from what I'm gathering, Zexy, from what you mean is that you think, yeah, we should stick to the decision of them all dying. So you're like going the opposite of Battle Sandwich has said, which is why we have to kind of do polls, I guess, to see what people think. But that was my immediate thought, that if we say kill them, they have to be all dead for good, because maybe it could be seen as a cop-out if like they just end up coming back anyway. Even though I thought what Battle Sandwich said was interesting, I still think, yeah, people could be like, oh god, I thought I killed that. Plus it'd be a relative. Yeah, I'm hoping I'm getting what you're saying. My brain's mush. I'm sorry if I'm completely going off track here. I'd be ready to be addition story, but I think the player's choice being driving thing is still entirely valid with this. Like the player's choice is directly driven. Okay guys, I'm gonna have to watch the VOD after my dinner probably to take all this in, because I'm not taking it in at all, and I apologise because what you're saying is all really interesting. But I'm going to end my stream now, guys, because I think I've totally expired for the day. So I appreciate all the feedback and everything, and we'll have another stream tomorrow. We might carry on talking about this. I know that skill implementation is something that was said that we probably should do next. I'm scared of that because I'm not good at skill implementation, but I think what we've got here are an easy enough bunch of skills to implement. So I don't think it's going to be too bad at all. So much it is, there's a lot to take in, but it's all good. I'm glad that we got it. I just can't, I need to be off stream to properly read all this and get a good idea about what it's all about, because it's very hard. It's hard to focus. Got melty brain syndrome. Yeah, feel free to pop in the Discord. That's always easy. I don't mind looking at my VODs though. Sometimes I do that just to see if there's anything I've missed that you guys have said. Thanks for stream, Rose. I had fun. Yeah, thank you. I'm gonna head straight off today. I'm just gonna have a quick check to see if anybody is online, but I'm not 100% sure if I will do a raid. It all depends who's on. I'll just have a quick peep. Okay, yeah, let's go to Elite. I wasn't sure if he was streaming today. He's playing Pokemon. I was going to go straight off and not do a raid today, but we will. Yeah, I've had fun too. You're the best, guys. And if you haven't voted on the poll, please do. I know that we was going to close it, but it's just too close. I can't vote when it's that close. It doesn't seem right. I want to see more of a clear winner. So we'll keep it open. But if we will 100%, and I promise this, close it tomorrow first thing, 3 o'clock, 3 p.m. my time. And even if it's still a draw at that point, I will make the decision then. So off we go, off to Elite stream. Take care, guys. Have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow. And thank you for all the input and ideas. I will gather them all together when my brain's back to normal. And if we have to do a poll, if there's a split decision there at all or anything like that, we'll do a poll at the ideal point. And okay, so thank you and have an awesome day. Take care.